It's your boy Stephen A. in the house, hosting yet again. This is my last day, damn it. This ain't easy. It's my last day doing this, but it's a special time to do it. My man RC's back in the house. Ryan Clark, he lets you know, not that you need to know who he is. I mean, you know who he is, but the big RC is blazing on this. He just let you know right now. And my boy Cam Newton's in the house. Look at my boy right here. This is what he's doing right now. He's trying to help me, hit me to the culture. He's trying to hit me to the culture. Okay, this is my boys in the house Friday. We rolling. By the way, there are rules and regulations. RC knows it. Cam may not. He will very, very shortly. First takes in the hand. Let's roll.
This Bills offense is so tough to stop. 21-14 Buffalo. They got a chance to tie this up if they can score. Goes back shoulder. Touchdown. Hill. This team is playing with some serious confidence here in Buffalo.
Active pass, it's a screen pass to Shakir. Has a blocker in front, racing to the end zone, and he's in. And the Bills have the lead back again.
3:13 left to play in this game. Clock ticking.
Back to pass, fires, it's intercepted. Picked off by Terrell Bernard. He read Tua like a book. The clock runs out on Miami, and they lose once again to Josh Allen.
First Take is presented by ESPN Bet Sportsbook.
Welcome to this edition of First Take. I already told you Cam Newton's in the house. I already told you Ryan Clark is in the house, all right? So let's get right to it because we got some football stuff to get to. Make no mistake about it, all right? For most of Thursday night football, Tua Tagovailoa and the Dolphins kept pace with Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. But in the closing minutes with the chance to tie the game, Tua threw a costly interception, ending Miami's hopes of securing their first win of the season. The turnover set up a Buffalo field goal to seal the 31-21 Bills victory. Here's Tua and Coach Mike McDaniel on their loss post-game.
I thought I was in rhythm, in timing of the play. Seeing the flat defender go over the top of Jalen. Jalen's turning around. I think that was a really good play by the defender. And, you know, had some color in my face trying to maneuver the throw as well. 10 out of 10 times, if we're looking at that same thing, I think I'd still try to work that timing of hitting that spot, and I think the linebacker made a great play on that.
We came here to win, and I refuse to take moral victories as the head coach of the Miami Dolphins. It wasn't good enough, so that's where I'm at.
Let's go to Cam Newton first. What should we be saying about Tua after last night's loss?
Disappointed. I'm disappointed. I think, you know, as I'm watching this game, there were signs of, you know, he was in a rhythm. But this is the frustrating reality that we are faced with, not just as fans, but as people who observe this game. Observe this game. Come on, beat them up, word. Yeah. Tua Tagovailoa is making more than Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, Baker Mayfield, Matthew Stafford, Jaden Daniels. Am I pocket watching? No. I'm putting things into perspective here. What Biggie say? More money, more problems. Well, in this case, it should be more money, more expectations. When I see Tua Tagovailoa over this year alone, I've heard him more than I ever have. That's not to say you can't talk. I like quiet Tua, Alabama Tua, chip on the shoulder Tua. Not, is somebody gonna come in and watch film? Hey, let's see what this is. Hey, I was this and I was that. Taking certain things. Man, bro, what you're being paid, what you're asked to do, what you have the capability of from one quarterback to the other, I look at the situation as like, bro, come on, dog. Especially when you got a Ferrari and a Lamborghini and other amenities that some quarterbacks wish they had.
Well, the problem is this. Tua Tagovailoa needs too much help.
Yeah.
When you throw the football 34 times and you only amass 146 yards because you average 4.3 yards a throw, you ain't doing nothing.
Yeah, right.
And then we can't ask you to go above and beyond the X's and O's with your legs because you're fragile. And this isn't a pile on Tua Tagovailoa session. This is what we're looking at. This is who we see weekly. It's going to take Mike McDaniel to call this elaborate game, be creative, get the football out of his hands, throw the football behind the line of scrimmage. There was a time in the game yesterday he wasn't averaging 1 yard per throw. And then you go to the other side of the ball, and you're seeing Josh Allen go above and beyond what Joe Brady calls every time it's needed to win the football game. Those are the people you're playing. And then when you get to the end of this game, and Tua's superpower, right? The thing Tua does well is anticipate. Well, if anticipation is what you do, you have to anticipate Terrell Bernard breaking down on the hook, because when you see the flat defender go over, you understand what's coming next, because you're bringing the rest of the constitution, the rest of the linebacker crew, the rest of the underneath coverage to you. And my problem with him now is not that he's talking. My problem with him now is that he's explaining. See, Cam Newton, if he made a mistake, he wasn't explaining the mistake. It was either I did it,
or I didn't.
I got to be better, or I didn't. And that's my issue with him right now.
So with that being said, does that justify, fellas, when we see the frustration emanating from some of the Miami Dolphins, particularly somebody like Tyreek Hill, leading up into last night's game and stuff like that, based on what y'all just explained, does that justify what we've seen from Tyreek Hill in terms of his frustration and desire to get out of Miami?
No, I wouldn't necessarily say that's the case, because there was some reckless, play by a teammate in certain things, but it's certain ways that you have to handle it, right? You don't bring the public into the house, right? That's just family business. I think what we've been able to look at in Miami is like, are we watching the Miami Dolphins, or are we watching reality TV? And it's like, it's one thing after the other, and certain things are bleeding over into each other. And I misspoke, and I appreciate you for saying that, RC. It's not necessarily how Tua is talking, because dare I say that? Let me check myself with that. It is him explaining, but we're not used to seeing that dynamic. I look at, Josh Allen in this type of manner, and I'm blown away, because you can't name me not probably 3 receivers. Where college did they go to? You see what I'm saying? Brandon Beane and Sean McDermott have been able to really curate something that suits his strength. The same thing has been the situation with Mike McDaniels in the Dolphins. It's like, we know who and what Tua is and what he is not. And you do have to go over and beyond and have these glitch plays and formations, a lot of, ships passing in the dark type of plays, but it's just smash, bro. It's just spot. And when you look at it, you have all these weapons, and you're doing more or you're doing less with more.
Yeah, and I think the bigger problem with Tyreek, and Tyreek confronted me about this in New Orleans at the EA event. He said, they sent me a clip of you, and I messed with Chan, I messed with Fred, but I don't mess with you. And I said, well, tell me what happened. He said, well, you said this about me. I said, yes, because as a leader, when you go into the locker room after the game and say you don't want to be somewhere, you separate yourself from the team, you're telling them it's you, it's not me. I say, I have a problem with that. And he was like, you know what? I respect that. Yeah. So what Tyreek did, or what Tyreek has said, is not justified by Tua's play.
Right.
There's a way that you're supposed to handle that, especially if you have some other things that people can use against you as character flaws. You want to operate professionally as far as your career is concerned in the highest of manner.
One of the things I want to throw by both of y'all, and I'm going to get to a story, I'm going to get to a question about the Dolphins in a second, but just thinking about this based off of what y'all are talking about, it has me hearkening to Mike McDaniels as the coach for Tua. When Brian Flores was there, Tua would later say, once Brian Flores departed, he wasn't feeling that man. That man, didn't coach him the right way, didn't speak to him the right way, didn't make him feel good, didn't make him feel comfortable. Well, Mike McDaniels comes along, got him feeling all cuddly inside. They go to back-to-back playoffs. It's a wild card spot. We ain't better to play. Damn right. That's how he came off. Feeling all cuddly inside and stuff like that. Next thing you know, they've missed the playoffs over the last 2 years, and Mike McDaniels, the miniature dude, doesn't look like that quote-unquote football coach that you're looking at, the Bill Parcells, the Belichicks of the world, and all this stuff. He looks a little bit different, but a boy genius. Once upon a time, they were talking about him that way. How are we to look?
you.